We often like to think that we know all there is to know about our planet, though in reality we could not be further from the truth, especially when it comes to our oceans. We have explored just 5% of the ocean, with everything else out there remaining a mystery, from animals and plants to the structures and shipwrecks. So it should come as no surprise that many of our most interesting discoveries and revelations over the past decade have been found below surface level, under the water. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 strange underwater discoveries. Huge Japanese earthquake cracked open the sea floor. We are all familiar with the devastation of natural disasters that earthquakes can bring. And while some of the awful consequences play out immediately after, as people search for housing and safety, others can go unnoticed and fly under the radar for months. This is exactly what happened in 2011. The Tohoku earthquake and tsunami wreaked havoc, resulting in the loss of over 18,000 people, thousands of whom were never found. Figures released in 2021 report 19,747 fatalities, 242 injured, and a further 2,556 people as missing. Tohoku was the 4th most powerful earthquake recorded since 1900, when modern record-keeping systems were put into place. Despite all these tragedies, some details and consequences of the event were still being uncovered in the December of the same year, 8 months after the initial incident. A December 2011 study believes that the Tohoku earthquake may have opened fissures on the floor of the ocean bed reaching widths as large as 6 feet. Takeshi Tsuji, a researcher from Kyoto University based in Japan, explained that there are fissures that line the sea floor where there used to be clam beds. The fissures, when added to the seismic research already taking place, tell the story of 2011, how the crust surrounding the epicenter of the earthquake cracked and grew. These fissures on the sea floor were found when manned submersibles took to examining, analyzing, and otherwise playing detective along the sea floor following the disaster. Tsuji and the rest of his team were uniquely positioned to talk about this event and draw comparisons of how the earthquake affected the sea floor thanks to some prior research they had gathered. Before that fateful day in March 2011, this research team had gathered photographs and videos of the sea floor from the continental side of the Japan Trench. These photographs therefore clearly encompassed the area where the crust would crack from the ensuing tsunami. The stark differences between the evidence collected before and after makes the impact of the Tohoku earthquake abundantly clear. Before, the footage and data collected shows a peaceful sea floor, interrupted only every now and then by clam beds. The after photos, however, are not quite so lovely, and instead of showing us clam beds and serenity, they paint a picture of destruction with clear evidence of the forces that had been released. Tsuji said that between 10,500 feet and 17,500 feet below the surface level, there were fissures from the earthquake open in, quote, many places. While it has been determined that they ranged from 3 to 6 feet long, researchers are yet to successfully find a method that will allow us to calculate and measure the depth of the fissures. Between the seismic surveys of the seafloor and their eagle-eyed observations, the researchers at Kyoto University have revealed a number of complex areas to study. It appears that the zone containing the continental crust by the coast of Japan had been forced underneath the Pacific tectonic plate. This then caused a tearing, an estimated 12 miles beneath the surface, that was so powerful that even the sea floor tore open. This is believed to be the series of events that prompted that fateful tsunami. The long-term result of this in terms of the sea floor is that the crust stretched horizontally, not just outwardly, scarring the seafloor with gaping fissures. Such horrendous events in any natural disaster are terrifying and make a tragedy that will be forever marked into our history. We can only hope now to gain more understanding of why these awful events occur. The world's longest underwater cave has been found in Mexico. Sometimes being able to find the missing piece to confirm theories in ongoing research is more exciting than the new ideas themselves. It is so exciting to see when research confirms ideas and speculations, though is often discussed much less. This is true of the 2018 research in which the longest underwater cave was found, even though we had inklings it was already there. Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula has been found to be home to a network of caves, forming the world's longest underwater cave system right below the surface where the Mayans once famously lived. It has been long suspected that the Sistema Sac Actun, a labyrinth spanning 164 miles, and the Dos Ojos system, another network reaching a staggering 52 miles, could in reality be one large system with an unexplored channel connecting them. It appears that these theories are correct, resulting in an underwater cave that reaches a whopping 216 miles of space below the surface level. Before this discovery, the longest underwater cave was the Sistema Ox-Belha, which is also in Mexico and reaches a huge 168 miles. This discovery was made thanks to the work put in by Gran Acuífero Maya, a project that works towards protecting the waters of the Yucatan. This research allowed for divers to investigate and eventually uncover the missing puzzle piece, namely the previously unexplored channel. Guillermo de Anda, the director of Gran Acuífero Maya and an underwater archaeologist, has described the finding as amazing, before going on to explain that knowing more about these underwater caves will tell us more about the Maya people. He stated, "It allows us to appreciate much more clearly how the rituals, the pilgrimage sites, and ultimately the great pre-Hispanic settlements that we know emerged." One example of this research highlighting more information about the Maya civilization is the discovery of cenotes. These were effectively sinkholes that were viewed as holy sites, with the Mayans thinking they were portals to the gods. At the bottom of these sinkholes, we have been able to find a number of religious objects and even human skeletons. This has led to theories that the Maya could have used human sacrifice as part of their religious practices. This hidden underwater cave has been known to house hidden twists and turns before too, and it will undoubtedly be not too long before even more is uncovered about the Maya society thanks to these caves. Ancient shipwreck is now protected by underwater AI robots. The way our technology has progressed over the years is truly inspiring. Plenty of things we thought would forever stay confined to our comic books and sci-fi films are in fact becoming a reality. While we may not have the hoverboards and the mind-blowing inventions movies like Back to the Future promised us, we do have a strange and progressive array of technology in all sorts of disciplines and fields of work, including now underwater archaeology. An ancient shipwreck just off the island of Alonissos, Greece, has recently gained some company. In August 2020, remotely operated artificial intelligence, or AI robots, took to the waters and are forever changing the field of archaeology. One of the most valuable things we have as humans is our knowledge of the past. Past civilizations, past buildings, past events. Our history is precious. This places incredibly high stakes on archaeological work. One wrong move can tear down so much evidence and history, and when this work is all underwater, the task becomes even more difficult, though it seems that officials hope AI robots could change the game. This shipwreck holds vital archaeological information. The 5th century BC wooden ship sank by the Greek island Alonissos. It still contains today thousands of clay amphorae jugs used for trade across and throughout the Mediterranean. We now have cameras monitoring the shipwreck constantly, with image recognition software set up to alert professionals if there is any danger that damage may occur. George Papalambru, an assistant professor of power propulsion at the National Technical University of Athens, said that this AI technology aims to replicate human eyes. He said that this aim is to determine an object which passes in front of us. He continued describing the site as one of the most beautiful ancient wrecks in the world. The monitoring system functions by solar power and is fit with specialist technology, luminosity-triggered lens wipers that will remove debris, preventing the view from being obscured. The hope is that cameras like these will eventually make their way into more underwater sites, acting as models for divers and making the research more accessible. There have even been whispers of a series of underwater museums. This shipwreck offers us such a great deal of information surrounding Greek culture, from the trading to the sailing patterns to the construction of jugs and other materials. This ship gives us an insight into Athenian culture at such a key point in history. It is hoped that we can find out more cultural, religious, and philosophical viewpoints within this crashed ship, and this AI monitoring system just might be the way to do so. There is so much that is left unknown and untouched in our oceans, so even as we find more and more, we have many lifetimes and generations of underwater discoveries yet to come. But what do you make of these watery discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.